Well, today we're sitting here in the cafe with two longtime members of our church, Hal and Sarah Dixon, and we wanted to talk to them a little bit today just about how they were involved in the church and kind of why they did that. And so I just want to welcome you guys. Thank you for doing this, and just basically want to ask you some questions, and you know, feedback to me with how you feel and what you've done and things like that. So the first question I really have for you today is, how long have you guys been part of Bethel?
All of our life.
All of your life?
All of our life.
85 years.
85 years?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to ask you how old
It's
you were.
86 for me. It should be 86 in December.
So you literally grew up in Bethel, even when it was over.
Yeah, both our families were members of Bethel when we were born. We were born babies in this church and we've been coming here all our life.
Well, I know for a fact that when I started coming to Bethel, you guys were involved in some ministry and doing some things, you know, serving in the church, and I remember, you know, Sarah playing the piano and Hal leading in worship and things like that. But how did you kind of get started in serving in the church, being involved in a ministry? How did you get started in that?
Well, I can tell you how I got the communion job.
Well, how did you get the communion job?
When Pastor Jeffrey passed away, then they had a couple people filled in someone else. But anyway, this dear old lady, I don't know if you remember Sister Beulah.
Yeah.
Okay, she lived with Sister Curry. I had a room there up here on the street where the little church was. And she come to me and she said, "Would you do me a favor?" She said, "I want you to fix communion because this old lady that was done it, she would wash up the floor, mop in this bucket, and then when it was time to fix communion, she'd use the same bucket."
So you were getting your communion out of the wash bucket?
Out of the...
That's why we had little glass you had to wash them.
Right.
So anyway, I said, well, I'll try it till we get a pastor. Well, then it wasn't long till Brother Barrett was voted in. And I went to him and said, "I don't want this job, so could you please find somebody?" And he said, "Well, could you do it until I find somebody?" I said, "Yes, I'll do that." Well, he still hasn't found anybody.
He still hasn't found anybody. So how many years did you end up doing communion?
Communion I've done 47 years.
47 years. So it went from do it until I find somebody till you just did it until you finally said,
well, every
need to find somebody younger.
Even after Brother Barrett left, for some reason they didn't bother, so I still had the job. But
and you just faithfully did it then for 47 years.
Yeah.
You played the piano, you led worship, and I'm sure there was other things that you've done throughout the years in little ways.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that? Why did you get involved in that? I mean, why play the piano? Why lead the worship? Why? What was kind of the driving force behind you guys doing those things in the church?
Well, like when I started leading the worship, they didn't hire people for that. You
Right.
put people in the church, and there wasn't really anybody. I guess if I could do it with me, I guess at that time.
he used to
Barrett asked me
sing
to do it for him.
solos and stuff, and I think they liked these singing. You know, you got in the house sing to lead the singing.
And Brother Barrett asked me to lead the worship, and that's how I got involved. Now, roughly 20 years, I think, that we did it before he left, after he left.
So 47 years with communion, 43 years with piano, 20 couple years. Do you realize that if you add that up, you guys have over 110 years worth of service in the church?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And we enjoyed every minute of it.
And enjoyed every minute. See, I think, at least what I see as I'm talking, is it wasn't just about filling a hole. It wasn't just about, well, I could sing and I enjoyed singing and they liked my voice. It was really about, this is what God's put in me. It's what God's given me as a skill or an ability or a talent, and it was an opportunity for you to serve and be involved in the church, and then it just becomes kind of the root. Okay, so music, worship, communion. Any other areas? Anything else? Any other areas you served in the church?
I served on some boards a short time, but
So let me ask you a question then. As you served all those years, 110 years of service, what do you think, or what do you feel was the biggest benefit to you personally, and then maybe to the church, that there is from being a servant like that, from being somebody who just participates in a ministry or fills a role of serving in a church? What's the greatest benefit?
A lot of blessings to it, and God really blessed us through our life, and we had good health up to lately, and thank Him for the many healings we've had, and the many benefits from serving the Lord. Nobody would know unless you try it.
Yeah.
You would see the difference in your
Some
life.
people thought I was wonderful playing. Others, the one person come to me and said to me, they didn't like my playing because I'm too churchy, and I don't know what that meant.
I can't tell you either.
Well, I think it helps the church to have somebody they can depend on to be there when they need them.
Okay.
And we were always there. If we'd take a vacation, we'd take a week at a time, and we'd always be here on Sunday. We never miss church. We'd take vacations. And, you know, that helps the church do it. You've got somebody you can depend on.
For consistency.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
In the 43 years that I've done, the 47 years that I've done communion, I missed 1 week.
Wow. 47
We had
times
a heart attack.
52 this 1 week.
What is that? That's 2,000 Sundays or 2,000. 2,000 weeks. That's pretty amazing.
And I was involved in Houston University.
Wow. That's
hospital, and I figured somebody could do it.
Somebody else could fill the hole for that week. Yeah. If someone came to you and said, "Wow, 110 years of combined service. You've been in the church all your life, 85 years, done," and they said, "I'd really like to get involved in ministry." What piece of advice would you give that person?
Do it. By all means, do it.
Do it.
You realize the blessings from doing it.
Okay.
Both spiritually, financially, and everything. It's a real blessing to serve.
Sarah, you have anything to add to that? What piece of advice would you give somebody?
Do it.
Do it. Yeah, I agree. I'm a firm believer that everybody has a place to serve, and everybody needs to serve in their place. And if everybody would have that mentality, I think about the combined years of service. If you could add them all up, how many people have been doing things in the church for years and years and years, or maybe they're just getting started, but you add all that up and you think about how many hours and things are put into just serving other people. It's probably a pretty incredible number to think about, but it really does come down to what you just said. Sometimes you just have to take the step and do it, and even though it may not be what you wanted to do for 47 years, but you're just faithful in it, and watch how God pours out His blessing on your life and really takes care of you through it. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming in today and sitting down with us. I wanted to let people see that there are those who are faithful servants and have been faithful servants and will continue to be faithful servants at whatever it is that they can do. And so I thank you for your time. Thanks for coming in. I know this was a little tough, being on camera and all that, but this is serving. So thank you guys.
Thank you.